Why aren't people inspired by everything that I've accomplished? Why is everybody afraid?
Yearning, burning for you to justify my love.
I never was one that was smitten with Vile's music. Now I've come to really love particularly the songs written in America.
Precious days.
The new generation.
For my wife, Delia's gone.
Plus Punjabi by nature and Club Crawl.
The St. James Hotel in Los Angeles looks a little bit like an ivory tower, grandly looming over the more pedestrian buildings on Sunset Boulevard. How fitting, then, that the St. James Hotel was the location for our interview with Madonna to talk about her new album, Bedtime Stories. Because interviewing Madonna is a little bit like being granted an audience with royalty. The commoners, the media, gather nervously in the anteroom, anticipating their allotted 10 or 15 minutes. We lucked out. We were granted 20 minutes with the most talked about, the most documented, and perhaps the most perplexing icon of our time, Madonna.
Playback.
Say your lines, but do you feel them? Do you mean what you say when there's no one around? Watching you, watching me.
One lonely star.
One lonely star.
37, you there? Yes. Okay, speed.
Hi.
Hi.
What is it? Hold on. Is that a tea kettle?
Oh, it's my hearing aid.
Take a bow, the night is over. This masquerade is getting older.
This room is
Time.
jinxed.
Ready? Okay.
Every time we
You're
start
in
an
the same
interview,
place?
something
Yeah.
goes wrong.
Okay, speed.
Are we really happening this time? Yes. Okay, great. There is no hum.
Who cares? It's in your goddamn Coke bottle.
I've always been in love with you. I guess you've always known it's true.
Okay,
Someone's got bad karma. It's not me.
It's not me.
All right.
Okay. Bedtime Stories, there seemed to be very little hype with the release of this. It's sort of like a quiet bedtime story release. Why?
Because I would just like people to concentrate on the music and not, do, 20 million interviews and be on the cover of every magazine, because then people just inevitably get caught up in what I'm saying and not what I'm saying in the interview, and not, I would like the music to speak for itself.
It took me by surprise that you understood. All along, what I never wanted to say. Until I learned to love myself, I was never ever loving anybody else.
You said that secret has to do with, well, the lyric says that we create our own happiness. It's knowing that. Who let you in on that secret?
I think that I've been, all along, all through my life, I have been informed by various people of that very same principle, but I think you don't really accept it into your life and apply it to your life till you're ready to hear it. So I think I've been hearing it all along from various people that have inspired me, various philosophers and writers, singers, poets. But I think maybe it wasn't until this point in my life where I could really say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense.
It opens up another can of worms when you find that out and take responsibility for it, because then you have to really look at what things you do that don't make you happy.
Yeah, and you have to stop blaming other people for everything, or stop holding other people responsible. You have to be much more independent in your thinking, and you have to make sure that what you do is what you want to do.
video has a real street vibe to it. There's a sense of spontaneity, a kind of a close-knit family, a simple sensibility of just good music happening and hanging out together. Do you miss that? Because I'm sure that you had that sense in New York in the early 80s that you were part of that street scene, but because of your fame.
I do miss it, yeah. But I mean, music is still a really big part of my life, and spending time with my friends and listening to music is important. And even though I'm famous, one of the things I love about New York is that you can walk down the street and people will be hanging out on their stoop and listening to music, or you can hear it coming out of somebody's car, and it kind of connects you to somebody for a minute.
I learned to let go and travel in stillness, and I remember happiness.
I've met a lot of famous people, I've interviewed a lot of famous people, but I found something about the particular Madonna fame after I interviewed you the last time, which was the first time, and I went home and my whole life was displaced by the experience. Nobody asked me how I was for about 2 weeks. It was like, what was she like? What did she look like? Was she nice? Was she bitchy? Was she this? I said, what, we're supposed to bond in 15 minutes? I mean, she was smart and she knew what she was talking about. Is that a problem about overshadowing people who are in your life?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, I find that when I work with people on certain projects that all of a sudden that project that they worked with me on sort of takes precedence over anything they've ever done in their lives. And, you know, I think they sort of look forward to doing other things without me so that they can, you know, reassure themselves that they mattered before they met me. Yeah.
Do you ever wonder what might have happened if we'd met someplace else?
Come here.
One of my dear friends. He's one of the girls.
Give it up and let me have my way. I'll give you love, I'll hit you like a truck. I'll give you love, I'll teach you how to. I'd like to put you in a trance. Oh, erotic, put your hands all over my body.
David Letterman said, I could be wrong, but I think Madonna is just trying to shock us. And I was thinking, did you get shocked by the reaction and bashing that happened with the sex book? Were you actually shocked by the reaction?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Yes, I was. I didn't see it coming.
Well, I knew there was going to be a certain amount of shock, but I mean, not like that. I had no idea.
Do you think that was because you're a woman?
Yeah.
You think if Prince had done the sex book, he wouldn't have gotten that kind of reaction?
No. Absolutely not.
What do you think would have happened?
I think maybe people would have said, oh, there's Prince being kooky again. I mean, being strange and crazy and wild. And, I mean, every song Prince writes is about sexual intercourse. You know, nobody really seems to be paying any attention to that. So, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm a woman.
Wanting, needing, waiting for you to justify my love, yearning, burning for you to justify my love.
I always say to myself, why aren't people inspired by everything that I've accomplished? Why is everybody afraid? You know, I think my strength, and that's like the hardest thing that I've had to sort of grasp and accept, is that my surviving and my strength and the things that I've accomplished isn't inspirational to other people. It's frightening, I think. And I think it's because so many people are so afraid to have a point of view, to strike out on their own and to like try and realize one of their dreams and to see someone else doing it. We're living in an age, in a society now where that is almost looked at as a weakness, something to be ashamed of.
Everybody's got the fever. That is something you should know. Fever isn't such a new scene. Fever started long ago. You give it fever.
Will we ever see choreography in a video again? Major dancing?
It's possible. It's just that I got so sick of all the videos everybody's making where there's like the troupe of dancers and the singer standing in front of it, and everybody was moving in unison. I thought, this is so boring. Everyone's doing the same thing. So I wanted to get away from all of that. But yeah, I could see doing something like that. Actually, because now not so many people are doing it, so be something different.
You will definitely always go against the grain, won't you?
Well, I will always take the road less traveled by.
Hi, I'm Lance Chilton. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Facts. Also on tonight's program, Thrills and Spills, Russian style. Glenn Baxter pays a visit to the Moscow Circus. And we've got some neat news for hoops fans later in the show. But first, 3 words: Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. During the past 2 years of controversy over her sex book and the erotica album, Madonna is back with a kinder, gentler album and attitude. Guest artists including Michelle and DiCello.
Making this record was a true test of my stability, because there were a lot of times when I wanted to tear my hair out. Because I'm used to working with one producer, and you know, you get a system going, and things kind of start to work like clockwork. And because I kept changing, and I was working with very young people, it was really hard for me to kind of, I kind of turned into a babysitter half the time.
You've described yourself as a control freak. Are there times when you're out of control?
Absolutely.
Like when?
Like when my record is released, I have no control over how people react to it, what they're going to think of it, whether they're going to want to buy it or not. I can't control public perception. Only thing I can control is my work, what I do in the studio, what I do as an actress in that moment on the set. But what the director does with the footage, what the public does, you know what I mean? I cannot control that. I can't control what a writer's going to write about me.
Are you ever insecure about any of that?
Yeah, I mean, it does make a person feel insecure, because you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and then you have to let it go, and then it's hard to let it go. I would just like people to concentrate on the music and not, do, 20 million interviews and be on the cover of every magazine, because then people just inevitably get caught up in what I'm saying and not what I'm saying in the interview, and not, I would like the music to speak for itself to a certain extent.
Hi, I'm Lance Chilton. You're with the Thursday edition of Facts on Much Music. Also on tonight's program, a Canadian musical landmark gets a major facelift, or even an addition, you could say. As well, we have an interview with the late Jessica Tandy about what turned out to be her last starring role in a film. That film's called Camilla. But first, 3 words: Madonna, Madonna, Madonna. Here's Monica.
Thanks, Lance. Hi, everybody. More Madonna tonight. But hold the flash in her latest low-key incarnation. The blonde, ambitious one has a new album out. It's called Bedtime Stories. And in the second half of our two-parter, the New Music's Janelyn White traveled to Los Angeles to share some secrets with Madonna.
You want a baby?
Yeah, you got one?
No, but if you had one, could I have one?
Why, do you want one?
Yes, I want a baby. I've
Okay.
been trying for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm at that point in my life, definitely.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, could you all leave so we can talk about
donors, sperm donors?
Have you checked out the in vitro route?
No, I have a donor.
You have a donor?
Yeah.
So do I.
It all sounds very scientific, but I think it's better to just say I have a boyfriend.
You think I killed Andrew?
So does everyone in that courtroom.
You are not on trial.
Oh, the hell I'm not. I must have been out of my mind to get involved with you.
To make love to me?
Yes. But I'm not going to compound my mistakes. You're my client. That's it. I don't want to have anything to do with you beyond that.
Just like that.
I just finished a movie that called 4 Rooms that is one movie, but it's like 4 movies within one movie that Quentin Tarantino is producing. He wrote the script and he's editing it. I was in the first segment called Witch's Brew, and Allison Anders directed that portion of it. I play a witch.
Was that a delicious role for you?
It was really fun. It's fun. It's comedy. It was a lot of fun. And then I'm doing a video with Mark Romanek for Bedtime Story. And that's going to be insane. It's completely like futuristic and special effected and like nothing you've ever seen before.
Finished the Girly Show tour in Tokyo, I think it was.
Right, right.
Apparently you told the audience that you might just have a nervous breakdown. After all, Elvis did it and other people did it. And I know that the Blonde Ambition tour took a lot out of you.
Well, I always say that at the end of every tour. I always say I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah?
It's exhausting to be on the road. Exhausting. I can't tell you.
I've seen your shows. I can't believe you do it.
I don't either. When I get to the end of it, I always say I'm never doing this again. And then, you know, time passes and I forget. So.
So how do you keep up your stamina on the road? Do you have an incredible discipline?
Well, I don't. I lead a really boring life. Basically, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I eat really healthy food. I exercise. I mean, it's really boring, actually. To get through the tour, I have to live the life of a monk, basically.
You learned to do that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that was different in the early days, right?
No, I mean, I've never really been a party animal, so my training as a dancer has probably helped me a lot. I don't know anything about death since I've never died, but I've certainly been around it since a very young age, and I've had, I mean, I seem to be surrounded by it to a certain extent because of AIDS. A lot of my friends have died of AIDS, and when I was younger, my mother died, then my uncle died, and then my grandfather died. It seemed like everyone was dying all the time, so death was this kind of obsession, strange obsession that I had because it was so mysterious, and it always took away the people that I loved. So yes, I am afraid of it, but I think as I grow older and the more that I know, I think the less afraid of it I am. It's funny, everybody has different reactions. I mean, it's meant to be a love song, a farewell song to someone that I loved. But lots of people have heard it and said that they thought that it was like suicidal, or that I was looking in the mirror and saying goodbye to a certain part of my life or a certain side of me. I never thought about it that way, quite frankly, when I was writing it. I think that's interesting, but I wrote it specifically about someone.
Do you still get excited when you complete an album, and are you thrilled when you hear it, or are you with that critical mode, like producer, listening to it?
I'm both.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thrilled, I'm proud, but I'm a perfectionist, so I'm always changing things, and even when it's finished and it's in the store, I hear things and I say, oh, I should have done that, but you have to let go of it at a certain point.
When do you know it's time to let go of it?
I can't say when, I can't explain it to you, I just know it. When I stop, I just gets to a point and I just think if I work on it anymore, I'm going to start destroying it. Yeah, I mean, I always say to myself, why aren't people inspired by everything that I've accomplished? Why is everybody afraid? You know, I think my strength, and that's like the hardest thing that I've had to sort of grasp and accept, is that my surviving and my strength and the things that I've accomplished isn't inspirational to other people. It's frightening, I think. And I think it's because so many people are so afraid to have a point of view, to strike out on their own and to like try and realize one of their dreams and to see someone else doing it. We're living in an age, in a society now where that is almost looked at as a weakness, something to be ashamed of.
Most people are immobilized by the fear of failure.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they see someone else doing really well, it's like, I think deep down inside it's human nature to want to destroy them, to try to bring them down to your level so you can feel good about yourself.